I never expected people on the internet to call me a terrible husband for letting my wife sleep. That probably sounds backwards. It did to me too. But after one late night argument, I posted my situation online because I genuinely wanted to know if I was in the wrong. The responses completely changed how I looked at my marriage. My name is Ryan. My wife, Emily, gave birth to our daughter, Lily, 8 months ago. Becoming parents was everything we'd hoped for, and nothing we were prepared for. Everyone tells you babies wake up a lot. Nobody tells you what months of interrupted sleep do to two otherwise reasonable adults. Emily was breastfeeding, which meant she was already awake multiple times every night, even after. Feeding Lily, she'd stay up rocking her back to sleep while I snored beside them. At least, that's how things started. One morning, I caught Emily crying in the kitchen. Not loudly, just standing there making coffee with tears running down her face. "What's wrong?" I asked. She forced a smile. "I'm just tired." But it was more than tired. She looked completely exhausted. That afternoon, I spoke to my manager and shifted my work schedule earlier so I could be home every evening. We made a new plan. After Lily's last feeding around midnight, Emily would go to bed. I'd stay awake until 4 in the morning. If Lily woke up during those hours, I'd change her diaper, rock her, walk around the house, anything except feeding, since Emily was pumping enough milk for one overnight bottle. At 4, we'd switch. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. For the first time in months, Emily started getting 4 uninterrupted hours of sleep. Her mood improved. She laughed more. She had energy again. I was tired, sure, but I felt like we were finally functioning as a team. Then my parents came to visit. The first night they stayed over, Lily woke up around 2. I quietly got out of bed and took care of her. The next morning, my mom looked confused. "Why were you up with the baby?" I explained our schedule. She frowned. "Emily should be doing that. She already does most of the day, but you're the one working." "I know." My dad nodded in agreement. A man needs sleep to provide. I didn't argue. I simply changed the subject. But apparently, the conversation continued without me. Later that afternoon, I overheard my mother telling Emily she felt guilty watching me do a mother's job. Emily immediately defended me. "We're both parents." My mom wasn't convinced. By the end of the weekend, several relatives somehow knew about our routine. Soon I started getting texts. "You're letting her take advantage of you." "She should appreciate how hard you work." "You're spoiling her." It honestly made me question myself. Was I missing something? Was I actually doing too much? One night, after another message from my uncle, I made the mistake of posting our situation online. I genuinely asked, "Am I wrong for staying awake with the baby while my wife sleeps?" I expected simple answers. Instead, thousands of people responded. Some called me an amazing husband. Others insisted Emily was selfish. A few even claimed she was manipulating me. Reading everything only made me more confused. Then one comment stood out. It simply asked, "Have you asked your wife how she feels about your arrangement?" I realized I never had. That evening, I sat down with Emily. "I need to ask you something." "Okay." "Do you think I'm doing too much?" She looked shocked. "What?" "Honestly." She took my hand. "I think we're surviving together." Then she admitted something I hadn't known. She'd been feeling guilty for weeks. Every morning, she'd wake up and see me asleep on the couch with Lily on my chest. She worried I was sacrificing too much. I've even thought about changing the schedule. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because you finally seemed happy being a dad." That hit me harder than any online comment. Neither of us was secretly keeping score. Neither of us felt trapped. We were both just trying to protect each other. The real problem was everyone else's opinions, so we made one small adjustment. Instead of me staying awake every night, we alternated some weekends whenever possible. Not because strangers demanded it, because we talked honestly. A few months later, my mother visited again. This time she watched me feed Lily while Emily took a nap. She quietly said, "You know, Your father never changed a diaper. I smiled. I know. She sighed. I was jealous. I looked at her, she continued. I would have loved 4 hours of uninterrupted sleep when you were a baby. For the first time, I understood where her criticism came from. It wasn't judgment. It was the kind of normal she'd grown up believing. That conversation changed our relationship. She even started defending us whenever relatives criticized our routine. Today, Lily sleeps through the night. Most nights, anyway. Emily and I laugh about those exhausting months. Sometimes we'll find old pictures of me asleep in the rocking chair with Lily curled against my chest. Those are some of my favorite memories. Not because I was exhausted, because that's when I truly learned what partnership looks like. Marriage isn't about splitting every responsibility exactly 50-50. Some days one person gives 70, the other gives 30, then life flips and those numbers change. The important part is that both people keep showing up for each other. Looking back, I wasn't staying awake because Emily couldn't. I was staying awake because she shouldn't have to. Do it alone? That's the difference. If you've ever had family criticize how you and your partner divide responsibilities, share your story in the comments below. Sometimes the strongest marriages aren't built on doing everything equally. They're built on doing whatever your partner needs when they need it most.